Hi my lovelies. Hi my creative family, and I do mean that. You've been so supportive. You feel like family, encouraging me to get past my anxiety and my own high standards, to just faff, and you guys appreciate my faffing. So what I dreamt about last night, or I woke up halfway through the night with this thought, was I wanted to create a little bouquet of flowers on a page. I've never done this before, so this video may or may not make it to YouTube, depending on how this comes out, but if you're watching it now, it turns out okay. So what I've done is I've just painstakingly fussy cut some flowers. I've used an X-Acto knife so that there really is no white space left around at all, and what white space there was on that one, because that was a labour of love, that guy. I've just put a little bit of inking around, and I've done all the cutting and everything beforehand so that I'm as prepared as possible. I've just got a couple of normal fussy cut flowers because I like how the brown craft paper is just a little bit different to the fussy cut flowers, and I've cut out some little bits that I can use as the stems as well. I have decided just to that's one of my etchings. I was quite glad how happy with how that came out, so I've put it in this journal. This is just some grungy music paper that I've put a little bit of I dye this with rust and coffee, which where the rust and coffee have mixed, that's why it's gone to the black colour. There's a scientific reaction, obviously, that does that. Don't ask me what it is. Like I've said before, not a scientist, far from it. So what the items that I need today, and if you're crafting along with me, you would need is I've just got some twine, some quite thin twine. I have a selection of needles. No, not you, needles. She's at the end of my bed supporting me as well. And the fussy cuts that I've got, the die cuts obviously come from dies. The irises came from this lovely lady, which you will all recognise. So they were in the Edwardian Lady book. And this one here, I got out of the book that I'm trying to use to stabilise my crafting desk that is on my bed. Just came out of this book here, which I love. It's got a lot of black and white images, but on the beginning of every month it's got a nice colour illustration. So the title of that book is A New Zealand Gardener's Notebook, Barbara Matthews, just in case you wanted to try and find one of those. Put that back under there. Okay, so in parts of this I won't be talking because I will just be faffing. So I had decided at the very least that one of these guys, probably the largest one, will go in the middle. I need to slightly hide that because I had to cut it off this one because it didn't. I needed single stems like you would find in a bouquet, you see. Well, that was my thought at 2:30 a.m. anyway. So chuck me on 2 times because I'm just going to show you what I do, faffing around with the organisation of where I want these. I'll start gluing, because otherwise I'm going to forget what I wanted where, and it's going to end up completely different all over again. Just using this glue. Helmers. I do want to make it that shape, and then I'm going to wrap some twine so it looks like it's wrapped with twine. Then I need the stems to come out that way, just so that it looks like an actual posy. I don't even know if this is worth doing, because should I have just printed off a picture of a posy of flowers and fussy cut that out and stuck that on? Quite possibly. Could have just wasted an hour of my life, but that's what we do, right? We just play and experiment and see if we come up with something different. I know I haven't stuck these in the same place that I had them, but it's fine, it's fine. Yeah, I like that over there. Yeah, I think that was better than it was in the first place anyway. I suppose I could take a photo, but I'm using my phone. So how would I see the photo? I also grabbed the, if you want to know what that is, if you can see it, this is the tag that came with, that was in the Edwardian Lady book, and I was just thinking I might pop that somewhere on there as well, because that's quite cute. My phone in the focus, crikey. Anyway, yeah, that came off there, so we'll see how it goes. I might use it somewhere else. Does anyone else have things that come to them in a dream? Like your crafty ideas and stuff? Is it just me? Am I just craft mad? Now, when I do that, I just want to make sure that I haven't got too much glue on there, so it doesn't come out the sides. Whoops. Oh, Murphy's Law, that actually turned up the right way instead of gluing it everywhere. Now I know I've stuck that in front of the iris, but if it was a bouquet, you are not going to see all the flowers in front of everything, so I wanted it to look quite natural. So now I want to kind of make this look like the stems of the flowers. So I like that big one because that looks like it belongs to the iris coming out of the middle. Now, don't worry, we're going to hide this bit. Say my journals take about 80 to 100 hours. You can see why. I mean, this is one page out of 80. You didn't even watch me fussy cutting with an X-Acto knife for another 40 minutes to an hour. And honestly, that timeline that I give, 80 hours, I don't know. I just keep on going because I love doing it. I imagine it's at least that. Now I want to put a couple in front of that as well. I did take a floristry course, so I do know how to spiral bouquets, and I know these, any florists watching, this does not look like a professionally made bouquet, but I don't want it to. I want it to look like someone just picked the flowers out of their garden and not a bought. Okay, that looks alright. So now what I was thinking is I don't want to punch holes because you'll see the holes quite clearly when I put the hessian or string through. So what I was going to do is just with a reasonable sized needle, no, not you needles, she puts her head up every time I say it, poke some holes and then string this through. Because this the music paper is reasonably thick, but I think what I'm going to do, because I'm going to have to cover this side anyway with a cluster because it's going to have the random string through it, I might just reinforce this area with a slightly heavier cardboard so that if I'm poking holes in right next to each other and pull this through, it doesn't rip through the paper. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. Right, I better just find some card. Hang on, I'll pause here so you don't have to wait for me looking. Okay, so that should more than cover it, so just kind of got to figure out where I'm going to glue it. Yep, that seems about right. Don't want too much glue because as soon as that dries, that's going to make it painful to put the needle through as well. Okay, so that should just help add a little bit of support. And then just want to, now I'm going to have a flat, no, I kind of do want it to follow the shape of the flowers and look like it's actually around the flowers, so look away now if you don't want to see me poke myself in the finger. I know I should use a thimble, but I never do, and I always regret it. But I just find them so hard to maneuver. Now you might be wondering, how on earth am I going to manage to get that hessian thread through these tiny little holes? Wow, top tip. I will tell you in a second. I'll just do this last hole. What I do, and I often do it with the bottom of my signature threads as well, so that I can get beads on them when the beads have quite a small hole. All I do is I put a tiny little blob of PVA glue on my finger and I just roll that end in the direction that it's twisted anyway, which makes for, wait for it, a nice sturdy end to my thread. So yeah, I'm hoping it will work for this as well. I'll just unravel some of this and cut that off screen because you don't want to know what I used to cut that. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. So now, where's my first hole? Now I haven't done this with card either, so I did experiment on the paper. I might just try and make some of those holes just a little bit more obvious. My end with the glue there. My top tip's not going so well right now. Tried to thread this through a needle and that wasn't happening, so might just have to grab my awl and make them a little bit bigger still. Telling you guys, this is a come faff with me. I don't think it's a come craft with me. I just don't want to make the holes too big because I don't want to see if that pulls this way and there's a big hole there, it's not going to look very genuine, like it's wrapped around the flowers. So those are going to be too big. Stop pushing it all the way through. Okay. Well, it's working now. But see, if I had pulled that through just with the paper, I bet you it would have ripped it more. But yeah, I didn't have a needle big enough, so I mean it's a great option to use for like I say, if you want to string beads onto a thicker thread anyway, that you can't thread through a needle, or that you can thread through the needle but you won't be able to get it through the beads, because I've got a few lovely beads, but unfortunately I wasn't able to use them because I couldn't get the thread in the needle through them. Alright, it's definitely harder going through the back because it's not a whole punch, so I've got the excess paper through there. If you'd had enough, you could pretty much turn off by now. You know how to do it. I've shown you how to do it. Now, how do I want to... I almost want a little bit more there, so I might make a couple at the risk of, see, going right through. Just to bring this one down. Oh, and I haven't glued that. Okay, hold that thought. I'll give you an example. Pretty obvious, really. And then I will just quickly pause the camera as well, so that I can let this dry, because I hadn't done the other end, obviously. And if I want to thread this end through to go back in the other direction, I'm going to need it. Okay, and then that little bit hairy bit I would just trim off. Okay, I'll be back as soon as this dries. Okay, and while I was away, I actually decided that I might take these across a little bit just to make them a little bit more realistic looking. There's another hole. Is there another hole there? Yes, I stabbed my finger. Story of my life. The video stopped recording, but that's all right, that's fine. We'll just I'll just do this a little bit again. So once I had got them all through where I wanted them, I have just, so you can see that, I just crossed a focus camera. I just crossed a couple over and I like the way it looks. So then I just tied a knot and did a little bow and decided that I wanted to keep the bow. Thought that made it even cuter. Hope you like this idea. Hope you give it a go. Hope you like it enough to give it a go. And then I was just trying to figure out where I might want to put that, or even if I do want to put that in there or not. I didn't really want it to run that way, and it kind of fits, but I don't know, maybe I'll put that in there, maybe I won't. We'll see how we go. But I focus, I'm pretty happy with how that looks. Almost looks like it did in my dream. Just show you that again, because I believe that was entirely out of focus, so it doesn't quite fit there, and I'm not sure about it going there either. So yeah, I'll have a play around with that. I don't think, might just look too cluttered, but yeah, there we go. I hope that's something that you haven't seen before, and let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it. And remember, it is a come craft with me, so there's a lot of non-talking bits, and it's not edited or anything. Mistakes, no. Stabbing my finger, that's kind of a little bit ouchy, but at least it didn't bleed on camera. Okay guys, you have an amazing weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.